Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Ambatva-manusandadhami Bhagavad-gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Moksha Sannyasa Yoga 18th chapter, and Sri Krishna again and again is explaining to us the greatness of performing the duty that has fallen to one's lap, that has fallen on one's lap. We should never abstain from the duties that have come to us, because this is what we deserve to get it. And Sri Krishna says, even if that duty has got some, is attached with some kind of evil, attached with some kind of imperfection, don't consider it to be inferior. After all, it is your swadharma. Perform it most meticulously, perform it most dedicatedly with great devotion as a worship to the ultimate Lord, as a worship to the one from whom this entire creation has come into existence. And that won't get you attached with any kind of sin. Now, having told us this great truth in the 47th shloka that we read, that one's duty, although it is devoid of good, although it is devoid of any merits, although it is devoid of any nice things, it is always superior than the so-called good and perfect and nice things that others are doing. What we have to do, doing it perfectly, is far superior. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha. Swadharma may be, your swadharma may be filled with dirty things. There may not be any merit in the duty that has come to you. But is Shreyan, is far superior, is far better than paradharmat svanushthitat, than the duties that others are performing, which may appear to be perfect, which may appear to be filled with all the niceties, which may appear to be filled with all the good things in your perception. But doing your duties, which might be tainted, which might be bad, which you might be considering as evil, but the duties that have come to you, they are far superior than the so-called perfect duties others are performing. And then Sri Krishna says, Svabhavaniyatam karma kurvan napnoti kilbisham. The work that has come to one's Lord, performing those duties, although filled with evil, they will never bring any kind of sin to the person. Kurvan apnoti kilbisham. They will never bring those actions. They will never bring any kind of sin. They will never bring any kind of taints on your future journey. You will be free from all the black spots if you perform to do your duties sincerely, dedicatedly, because they are definitely superior. And then we had also discussed that wonderful story in the Mahabharata of the Gita of how a butcher, he got that tremendous enlightenment that he could give that wonderful teaching in the form of Gita to the sannyasi who was directed to come and become the disciple of this Vyadha by that old lady who knew the powers that this sannyasi had gathered because of his austerities. She told him, "I am not a crow that is going to die with your anger." And when the sannyasi was so much astonished to know the woman getting to know his powers, he asked her, and then she guided him, "Go and ask that butcher." Butcher? What can he teach me? And then he got the wonderful knowledge in the form of that Gita that the butcher told him, how doing my duty as the worship to the Lord, I could get all this realization. And that is the truth of our karma. That is the truth of what Sri Krishna has said, that swadharma is far superior than the so-called perfect duties, the so-called holiest of the holy duties that others are doing. It is their duty, it is their swadharma. Let them do it. Your swadharma, do it wholeheartedly as a worship. So having told that, now Sri Krishna once again, just to imprint on the mind of Arjuna that you are waging this war, you are wiping out the earth with all the unrighteous people, you are not incurring any sin, you are not doing anything bad. And Sri Krishna asks Arjuna then, for that matter, which karma is devoid of evil? Which karma is devoid of bad? This entire creation is filled with good and bad. We will never find only good in anything. We'll never find only bad in anything. This entire creation is mix of the opposites, the pairs of opposites. And thinking about the pairs of opposites, we get troubled. But the pairs of opposites are as inherent to the Prakriti as the three gunas that are pervading the Prakriti and making us do all kind of things that we are doing. So Sri Krishna now says, in this 48th shloka that we are going to read today, saha-jaṁ karma Kaunteya sa-doṣham api na tyajet sarvārambhā hi doṣheṇa dhūmenāgnir ivāvṛitāḥ. Saha-jaṁ karma Kaunteya. Saha-jaṁ karma, one who is born to perform some duty. Saha-jaṁ. Saha-jaṁ is born to do that duty. Saha-jaṁ karma. O Kaunteya. Now, Kaunteya is son of Kunti, O Arjuna. Now, Arjuna has taken birth as the son of Kunti. In this birth, he has got certain things to be done that have come to him as his past baggage. He should not run away from it. And therefore, Sri Krishna says, saha-jaṁ karma Kaunteya, the karma that is born along with a person. sa-doṣham api na tyajet, even if it is filled with all the wrongs, even if it is filled with all the evils, even if it is filled with all the negatives, sa-doṣha api na tyajet. Still, one should not give up that work because it is filled with dosha, because it is filled with evils, because it has something bad attached to it. Don't give up that work because it is a sahaja. That work has taken birth along with you. It is not that work has got been born somewhere else. You born now, and then that work has come and found you. Oh, here, Kaunteya, here, I am your work, I am this duty, I am attached to you. The karma gets born with a person, with his or her birth. So Sri Krishna says, the work which comes to you, don't ever give up. Don't ever run away from it, thinking it has got all the bad things attached to it. Thinking that it has got the sa-doṣham. This work is sa-doṣha. Don't think it that way. Sarvārambhā hi doṣheṇa. And Sri Krishna now says, sarvārambhā, all the initiatives, All the endeavors, all the things that we do in this world, they are filled with dosha. They are never filled with only good things. Everything in this creation is in the pairs of opposites, the good and bad, the joy and sorrow, the beautiful and the ugly, and the happiness and the unhappiness, the pleasure and pain. Everything is in pairs of opposites. There is no singularity. No singularity of only good, of only pious. Holy is always associated with unholy, unless we cross over the both. And therefore, Sri Ramakrishna used to always teach his disciples that you have to give up all good and bad. You have to give up all holy and unholy. You have to give up all the pious things and sinful tendencies and go beyond, go beyond, go beyond. But till the time we are in the realm of this universe, we are in the realm of this creation, we are in the realm of this Prakriti and Maya, we cannot avoid the pairs of opposites. Sarvārambhā doṣheṇa. And then Sri Krishna gives here an example. dhūmenāgnir dhūmenāgnir ivāvṛitāḥ. Like the smoke is associated with fire. How the smoke is associated with fire is the same way. Everything good is always attached to something bad. Everything which is guna is attached to something viguna, which is attached to some dosha. All the good things are always accompanied by bad things. All the niceties are accompanied by unpleasant things. All the pleasures are accompanied by pain. All the joy is accompanied by sorrow. All the happiness is accompanied by unhappiness. So there is nothing in this world, if you are thinking only that duty is the purest of the pure, even that will have some kind of impurity attached to it. The concept of pairs of opposites transcends only when we go beyond them. And that is the ultimate situation for us. That is the ultimate path for us. One should not abandon, O Kaunteya, the duty to which one is born, though it is attended with evil, though it is attached with evil. For all undertakings, all initiatives, all actions, all works, all endeavors are enveloped by evil. As the fire is always enveloped by smoke. There is no fire without smoke. The moment there is fire, there has to be smoke. So Sri Krishna says, don't worry about it. You have to kill people. Yes, it is part of your swadharma. You can't help it. You have to wipe out this unrighteousness. That is your swadharma. You are born to do that. And that duty has taken birth along with you. It is not that the duty of your killing the unrighteous people, the wicked people, the wretched people has taken birth somewhere else and then now it has come to you. No, it has taken birth right with you. You are destined to do that. So don't run away, my dear friend. That is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. A truth reveals itself to him who desists from likes and dislikes and who inquires into karma with an equanimity of mind. The moment we get rid of this concept of likes and dislikes, I like to do this, I don't like to do this, that. The moment we get rid of this likes and dislikes, the moment we get rid of these concepts of pairs of opposites, we become the fit instruments of the Lord. There is no karma whatsoever in nature which is completely free from evil. Like we discussed earlier, breathing is our natural karma. We can't help continuing with this process of breathing. And in the process, how many millions of microbes we are killing with every breath? That doesn't matter. Sri Krishna says that is bound to happen because every work, every deed, every task says mix of good and bad. We cannot breathe without hurting millions of microbes in the atmosphere. So whatever we do, even if when an ascetic goes out into the forest and sits for doing meditation and get into all those austerities so called, he may not be doing so called evils, but the physical processes, they are still involved, associated with those evils. They are still associated with hurting and killing those microbes. So no, even if we are we are performing only the so-called holy duties, the so-called austerities, every action has some kind of negativity, some kind of a bad thing attached to it. It is the law of nature, it is the law of this creation, it is the law of this prakriti. Every good has bad. The great ones have advocated virtue and denounced vice. Yes, that is what people have always been telling. You do good things and avoid bad things, but it may not be possible all the time. Which among the acts of man is to be accepted as virtue and which can be rejected as vice? Who are we to decide it? The Lord will decide. So, like the Lord said, the smoke is always associated with fire. You can never have a fire without any smoke. The smoke will come, it will dirty the walls. The moment we do certain, some kind of puja in our home, we have the homa and all. I mean, yes, the walls get the black soot gets covered with the black soot of the fire. Nobody can avoid it. Among the karmas, that which is attendant with more evil than good is vice, and the other in which there is more good than evil is virtue. Now, that is the only distinction we can make. Karma, by its own course, can never be free from bad. Only thing is we have to look, okay, which is more good, which is less, with lesser bad things. That becomes virtue. The karma which has more bads and less good, that becomes vice. So that is again our interpretation of the karma. But Sri Krishna says, no karma is devoid of any vice. No karma is devoid of any evil. No karma is devoid of any bad associated with it. Everything is good in pairs of opposites. Yogi discharges his duty as an act of worship to the Lord, like that butcher. Butcher performed his duty as a worship to the Lord. Yes, he had to kill the animals, he had to cut them, but he considered it as a worship to the Lord. Okay, I have to do it. And that so-called evil-looking duty in our eyes, it became a worship for him. A pilgrim who halts at wayside rest house cooks his food there with the fuel available and proceeds further. He does not delay on the way for want of good fuel. If a pilgrim is going on pilgrimage, with whatever type of fuel, he could, the pilgrims, I mean, traditionally, they used to cook their own food. And there they never used to think that, what kind of fuel I'm getting. I'm getting good fuel which emits less smoke, or I'm getting a bad fuel which emits more smoke. One cannot be that choosy when one is on a pilgrimage. So we are also on this pilgrimage. Let us not be so choosy. Whatever we get to do, let us perform it as the worship of the Lord. Like the butcher, the Vyadha in the Bhagavad Gita that we have seen. Let us perform whatever. It might be the worst kind of duty that we have to do, but do it with great devotion. Do it with great dedication, without getting attached to it and without seeking for the fruits of those actions. Then it becomes the real worship. So that is what now Sri Krishna is telling. Don't get carried away by this concept of good and bad, of holy and unholy, that pious and evil. Don't get into it. Nothing in this creation is devoid of evil or bad or wretched. So it is a matter of degree, to what extent the evil is there, to what extent the negatives are there. That we have to accept the way it is as our duty and perform it with great devotion as worship to the Paramapurusha. So that is Sri Krishna's advice to us in this 48th shloka, emphasizing never to give up the task that has come to us. Perform it because it has come to us, it is predestined. We deserve to do that. The Lord has chosen us, so it has come to us. So never run away from it. Even if there is bad attached to it, doesn't matter. God will take care of it. It is, after all, God has created the good and bad, isn't it? Let God take care of it. Let that ultimate principle, let that ultimate Purushottama take care of that, what is good and what is bad and what comes to you. Because Sri Krishna has assured us that working this way, no sin is going to attach. So let us be free from all those thoughts of evil and good and bad and pleasant and unholy and holy. Let us get rid of it and just do whatever work has come to us with full dedication, with full devotion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.